Hey guys, it's Bobby, and this is Financial Story Hour, where we dive into relatable financial stories to empower you to change your own. Did you know that everyone has stories that they tell themselves about money? Foundational beliefs that are the building blocks for how they live their financial lives. Now, these stories can take a lot of shapes. Maybe you believe that there is plenty of opportunity out there for someone who works hard and does their best. Maybe you have a story that says that wealth is just something that people are born into and that the average person can't attain it. Now, all kinds of things go into forming these beliefs, but can we change them? Let's take a look at Luke's story and see how things from his upbringing have started to hold him back from his financial success. But before we dive into that story, I would really appreciate it if you take a second to like this video and subscribe if that's your thing. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And with that said, it's story time.
You know what I think? I think money is a necessary evil. Emphasis on the evil. Even the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. My earliest memories are infested with the picture of my mom having to ask my dad for money to buy groceries. He made all the money, and he let her know it. After they divorced, my mom had to fight for every scrap of child support. Dad would take me to a fancy restaurant on the weekends, but my mom and I lived on peanut butter and jelly the rest of the time. I'm proud of what my mom was able to do, but it was tough. The thing is, now my wife wants to talk about money, and it's stressing me out. There's always money in the bank. Why should we have to think about anything else? I never say no to anything she needs or wants, but somehow she seems more stressed than I am. What's going on?
Now, this might not be your story, but remember, everyone has one. And Luke's happens to be that money is bad. Evil, in fact, is the word he used. And can we blame him? His entire childhood, money was used as a weapon. It was used for control and manipulation. So what's his response? Avoidance. Why? Maybe because to think about money too much might mean he's becoming more like the man who modeled money to him. But, and this is becoming a bit of a mantra for me, so forgive me if you've heard it before, the opposite of greed and money obsession is not ignorance of money. What do I mean by that? Well, for starters, you can be ignorant of money and still be obsessed with it. Have you ever known someone who was inclined to put their head in the sand when it came to their finances, never wanting to look at or pay bills, never wanting to check their bank balance? Now, maybe you found yourself there before, but whenever I interact with those people, I get the sense that they obsess about money a lot. So I would challenge Luke to see money for what it really is, a tool. After all, 1 Timothy doesn't say that money is the root of all evil, but the love of money. There's another cliche that goes, money doesn't change you, it just makes you more of what you already are. Luke, do you try your best to love your wife? Are you kind, caring, and generous? Have you found contentment with what you have? If yes, then we need people like you to have more money. Because when good people have money and have an understanding of how it works, then those good people use it as a tool for good. This is the main idea of a book called Good Money Revolution by Derek Kinney, and it's a fantastic read. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description below. But think about it. What sends missionaries overseas? Money given by good people. And sure, are a lot of charity donations done by people for political posturing or tax incentives? Maybe. But honestly, a lot of it is just people giving generously out of their abundance. So if Luke is making $100,000 a year, but he feels as though he is just scraping by because he has never wanted so you get a full view of his finances. Is that really stewarding that income well? Stewardship. Now that's a churchy word if I've ever heard one. Stewardship is just this idea that you are managing resources handed to you by their true owner. In my case, my faith tells me that everything that I have really belongs to God, and I'm just managing it for him. Now, you might not have that belief, but maybe you feel a similar sense of responsibility for society or your children. So we have Luke, who's just scraping by at $100,000 a year. But what about Jake? Now, maybe Jake is only making $60,000 a year, but he knows exactly what his monthly burn is. And with every decision, every life event, he actively prioritizes generosity in the form of 10% to his church. He's secure in his future because he's actively putting a percentage back for investing in retirement funds. And he has more fun than Luke because instead of anxiously checking his bank account, he's simply aware of how much he can spend, aware of his savings goals. Now, Jake's financial awareness is not taking him down a path to the dark side. Instead, it frees him up to do good things and live a good life. And if over the next few years his income grows to $100,000, wow, think of the impact. Now, back to Luke. If Luke were a client of mine, I would probably help him address this financial story by helping him replace it. Have him set aside $20, $50, $100 every month that he must give away. Let him see the impact that money can have. Let him feel the power of letting go. Show him that his financial story doesn't have to reflect what he grew up with. Instead, it can lead to a life of meaning and impact. And incidentally, that's what I want for all of my clients and for all of you watching this video. Once Luke's story starts to shift, that's when we can do the cash flow analysis. That's when we can start looking at what he spends and pulling levers: income, spending, savings, and debt. Now, another thing that Luke mentioned just at the very end of his story that's nevertheless super important is it looks like his wife has a different story. Now, we don't have the details, but it's clear she needs and deeply desires communication. And I hope that in and of itself is enough reason for Luke to start addressing some of these challenges. She's not worried about him withholding. She's worried perhaps that they don't have clarity and direction for their financial life. Like I said at the top of this video, everyone has a money story that they tell themselves. Maybe you, like Luke, struggle to see the good that can happen when good people have money and manage it well. But I challenge you to imagine it. I challenge you to try it. Money is just a tool. You choose how you use it. And I hope you do choose to use it so that it doesn't use you. Now, I would love to hear your story. And if you want to tell, then I would love if you click the link down below and we'll schedule a call, or you can shoot me a message. But remember, this channel is all about helping you change your story, and I believe you can. I'm thankful for you, and I will see you guys in the next video.